I cannot enter. I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable.
See them fancy clothes? This one's a top. He's being bitten. Bloody leech! Look at it! Fish! It's mine! I'll take it! Last warning. There's one of Shit! A leech! A leech! It's on him! It's on him! It's too strong! Oh my god! It's one of them! Trust the leech, filthy fucking beast! Find his teeth! You'll pay for that! What must I do? Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. Taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
It's locked.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again. Please show me what you have to sell. Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Tomorrow, more bodies will arrive and then sadly depart. I'm managing a train terminal, not a morgue.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to... Do you need medical attention? Well, the proximity of the dead is not the most healthy company. Even if the quiet can be a... Don't take too many risks with your health, Mr. Chidana. None of us are immune to this disease, and that is a good thing. Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
It never ceases to amaze me how the dead seem peaceful and
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help?
Really?
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about...
Well,
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
I will see you later. Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
The pain.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening.
Soldier.
Not really.
I will... Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
On every
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with fever.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of...
I wish this hospital could have received...
Thank you for your time.
That was fast? Is that so? Why? Machination?
I hadn't considered that.
Do be careful, my good doctor. When immortals are involved, the stakes tend to escalate.
I'll return with... Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid.
That's
easy.
Goodbye, Milton.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit.
Good evening.
Do you require medical...
Do you know you're the...
I will... Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Miss...
I'm okay.
Do you need any help? You are not a burden, sir.
And you have my gratitude.
I have to go now, sir.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you. Please, of course.
It's one of them!
I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this.
It's elite! We have to stop it! It's one of them! Watch it! It's a killer! Back in the grave! You're mine!
is despicable. I have this thirst for blood.
It's a leech! Let's pin it! Over there! There's one of them!
These cats!
Are you all right, miss?
I don't know. Who were those people? They wanted to kill me. Why?
They've lost their minds in the epidemic. They won't come back for now.
You seem to know a lot about them, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm investigating this disease.
I am Xiaoxun. Thank you so much for helping me, Mr. Reed. I must go to the cemetery now. Goodbye.
Carnage. Is Father Whitaker's disciple among the bodies? This man's far too old to be Samuel. No. By the look of his clothes, this man's a docker. Samuel isn't here. I had better follow the blood trail. It's locked. This is despicable. As I feared, Daniel no longer preaches the good word. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this. I cannot enter.
Steady, boys! We've got one of them here! Christ, he's... Stop right now! Over there!
Are you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to address someone in my country.
I do apologize, Xiao Shun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. This is the only place where I can find some kind of serenity. Some way to remember my dear Matthew.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Sorry, I don't know her.
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends or family who you could be with?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence, and I need sadness.
I've seen many deaths in my life, and we all grieve in our own way. Some stay silent, or need to shout. Others need company, and some just can't stand it.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed. I sense you trying to help me, even if I don't quite understand why.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiao Shun.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others. It's a mundane cause of death these days, but for me it meant the end of the world.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to defeat this terrible epidemic. I'm truly sorry.
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so quickly, even before realizing it.
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type, a happy sort. Everything that I am not. Did he laugh at his death to come, or did he not realize what was going to happen? I'll never know.
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease mankind has ever faced. Why are you blaming yourself?
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease. It can take the strongest man in just a couple of days.
I never said goodbye to Matthew. We never realized how bad it was. We laughed about it even. He always made me laugh. Now I don't have enough tears to shed.
You realize you can't stay here forever, don't you? Eventually you'll have to leave the cemetery.
Why? Why should I go? Since this is the only place I can find peace of mind.
To be honest, I don't know. Please forgive me if I've upset you. We must all honor our departed loved ones in our own way.
You sound like you're no stranger to the pain I feel.
Let's just say, I too have a good reason to visit cemeteries at night.
Please accept my condolences for your loss then, Dr. Reed.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician, one of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
No. But I wanted you to know that you have done nothing wrong. Unlike me.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure, no matter how long it takes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Dr. Reed. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
You should go home now.
I think you're right. Cemeteries are for the dead, for they need silence too. Thank you for your honesty and your wisdom, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your company, Xiao Shun. Take care on the way home.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel. Goodbye for now.
How do you feel? Physically speaking, I mean.
I don't feel good, Dr. Reed.
You should recover.
Thank you.
Goodbye for now.
You know you can trust me. Why have you not spoken to me?
I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this.
This one's mine!
This man stunned me with his faith. His crucifix. This is not good news.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Very well. Goodbye then.
It's locked, all right.
You look so pale, my lord. Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed. Or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can. Good evening, Mr. Whitaker.
It's Father Whitaker, my son. So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
I have found Samuel, your disciple. I am afraid I have bad news.
I already expected the worst. He should already have come back. He is dead, isn't he?
Yes, he is now. The epidemic took him.
Samuel steadily made donations to our cause. He would have rewarded you himself if you'd found me in that awful cemetery. Please accept this money.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled.
Quite a
But you...
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your...
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimated...
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat? What is left then?
Cleansing...
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost?
All science...
Quite a judgmental...
But you are see...
Well,
As a doctor...
what do you mean?
The beast...
I have heard enough. Good evening.
It's far...
Tell me, Tobias, what
God will recognize his own. More than...
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where...
Your lack of faith is predictable.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool.
Joseph,
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church.
Your disciple, Samuel, stole from the dead in...
No! Samuel was the best of us. So did...
He defiled the dead with his petty theft.
Think what you will. When this city is saved.
Your precious Samuel, you...
If that's true, then he will be my burden to bear during...
I have heard enough for tonight.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you need assistance?
No. Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
All of you bloody leeches! Want some of this? Yo! Get away this week, Joe. Come on, we can sort it out, right?
Excuse me, sir. I have a few...
Another journalist?
I'm not a journalist.
A doctor, you sir.
Really?
I'm Joe Peterson's son. But...
Have you heard of a nurse named...
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her.
Could you please tell me more?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants.
According to you, physicians are scarce.
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you?
This part of town does have quite a reputation.
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye.
May I ask what...
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more.
Have you heard of a nurse? Could you... Can I offer you my...
Keep your medicines for us.
There is a...
All right.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Welcome, sir.
I am Dr. Reed.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett.
Have you...
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse, then?
So she's trying to help her fellow immigrants. What?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supply...
How is business around?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket...
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in...
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But...
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless...
Violence is in...
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes...
Where did this happen?
In the closed workshops nearby.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell.
Right then.
Soon the time will come when you will all be judged for your sins. Even now, he judges your...
It's locked. It's locked, all right. Good evening.
Shane.
Do you need any assistance?
It's... Forgive.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can. Good.
It's far.
Don't you?
Faith.
No doubt your faith will prove.
Blessed be your general.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
May I ask what you're doing at this?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying.
But are you not afraid?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be set.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must...
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the...
Are you aware that your life could...
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city.
If some misfortune came upon you...
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
I understand your need for solitude.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor.
What are your thoughts on the...
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of...
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonous.
My mother loved poetry. Perhaps your words would have touched her.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame...
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott.
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to...
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the...
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity.
Vivid, of course.
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see...
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious Camellia.
Are you not curious?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic.
Guilty as charged.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite.
Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Do you need medical attention?
It may...
I am... I'll leave you alone, sir. Hello. Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Tell me about Richard. Very well. Goodbye then.
Fancy bar.
You never... Do you need help, sir?
To be honest,
I don't need... That's all for now. Goodbye.
I should never have taken up my father's business.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again.
Sir, don't you see we're on the same...
I'm not.
Yes, you...
I have to... If you want...
We've not been...
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and...
Do you need some help, Mr...
I am very tired.
Well, I think...
3 drugs from...
Goodbye, Mr...
Yes?
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this...
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine.
Tell me everything you know.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia...
Are you not worried?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man, for sure, but a very poor writer.
Tell me...
I do not...
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
I need help!
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
Cardiac massage, now.
Cardiac... What? Are you making this up as you go along? We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could? Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
You're here to test my bedside manners.
It's locked, all right.
I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
It's locked. I cannot enter.
Stupid beast! Get a taste of this! Fuck, it's fast! It ain't human! Kill it! Oh, Christ!
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me, then? Okay, then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So,
I'm not bothered.
How do you feel?
I'm fine.
Speaking of which...
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things.
Do you need any
Yes, I do.
You'll feel...
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of...
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy.
Why should I? I never want...
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be...
If life here is so...
I don't go outside. It terrifies me.
So that's why you stay at home?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed.
If life... So that's...
I'm not...
Forgive my...
Why should I?
You have a...
That's exact...
How do you...
I'm fine. My father...
Goodbye, young man.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
it's locked all right. Bully, everyone is afraid.
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards.
A job?
I got enlisted by the web.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you make.
I don't care what you think, sir.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
I've always put my son's interests above...
You really love your son, don't you?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes...
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died...
Since the criminal nature of your...
No one will ever take my son away from me.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson. Good evening, Harry.
Sure. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
So?
I'm not bothered.
Your father and...
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis?
I don't go out often, but yes. And
But you are not responsible for your father.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety.
Goodbye, young man.
Is there only pain and suffering?
Cheap price, good. Fancy buy.
You never... What do you know of Harry?
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
Well, despite being his father's son.
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he?
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior to...
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer. Good one, even. But I...
Taking out your anger on others is nothing but cowardice.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use...
And no one has...
Nobody will be fool enough to stand against a wet boot.
Right then. I have this thirst for blood. Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy! Crush the leech, boys!
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Good evening, Nurse.
Good evening,
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man.
I have no intention of...
The rules say I won't be allowed...
Is he work?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman.
Do you need...
I'm afraid...
Not...
Thank you.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawk. Good evening.
Evening.
Soldier.
Not really. I don't think you...
Goodbye for... Good evening, Mr.
Evening.
Where...
I really know if you were...
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells.
Why lie?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured.
Reconstructive surgery has been very...
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life.
Tell me what...
I went with a whore. In Rouen.
Did you start the fire?
No.
If only there were more.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you require...
I will be...
No. Goodbye, nurse.
Hey! This is a shit. This is a shit. That bastard, you...
I see.
The nurses aren't...
What's wrong?
Come on.
But you're alive.
What are you...
I'll leave you for now.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but...
We are vampires. We live by leeching the blood.
The situation is somewhat awkward, nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say, I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, Your Ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders.
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
I know this is beyond the pale.
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you...
A lady has to have some.
And who bestowed upon you this?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
What type of...
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Skulls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad?
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, Even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society, and like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but... are you my maker?
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires, but all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
I bid you farewell, for now, my lady. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical...
Do you know you're...
Despite...
Well, at least...
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswell. It's locked, all right. It's locked. Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Skulls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak, but I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
But the risk of infection using vampire blood could compound the situation.
I know, but your blood now carries remarkable regenerative properties. With our minds and your blood, there's nothing we couldn't cure.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear.
Have you found us?
Not yet, sir.
All right.
Do you need medical...
Afraid so. Your work.
I have all the...
Thank you, Doctor.
sure Albert would like to know he's been accepted by the Wet Boot Boys. This is despicable.
It's one of them! Shit, that leads you down! I'll kill it! Fuck, he's dead! Filthy fucking bitch! Back in the grave! Die, vermin!
Good evening, Miss Howcroft.
I need blood, Doctor.
I have made
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of...
There is no hunt, and nobody is...
Your lies demean you, Doctor.
I'll leave you. I have this thirst for blood. My dear sister, I don't know if I have the strength.
can't believe I'm doing this. Since I can't reveal myself to my mother now, I must find a discreet spot to attend the ceremony.
I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. We commend unto thy hands of mercy, most merciful Father, the soul of our sister departed, and we commit her body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Why kill my Mary and stick her here in this cold, god-awful place?
These are the legal requirements for the epidemic, madam.
Oh, Avery, I feel so tired. Please take me home.
Yes, madam.
Oh, Mary. What have I done? If I could only change one thing. One thing. This is a nightmare.
Jonathan, there is nothing you can do but accept it.
What brings you here?
I thought you could use the company. I am so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
I wish the tears would come. But I'm empty. And I feel a hypocrite.
Let your pain run free, Jonathan. Don't smother it. What you feel is your humanity. Don't be so quick to lose it.
She had been scouring the most dangerous parts of London in search of me. And it led to her death.
Jonathan, don't.
I still hear her last thoughts. They echo in my head. Her mind shattered, and it haunts me.
Jonathan, stop. Listen carefully. You must come to terms with this. You must learn to live with what happened.
How is it possible? Tell me. Is it so easy to take a life every night, and then just smile and nod at those you spared?
Don't you see? You're doing the work of our enemies, feeding your remorse. We are weakest when we grieve, and the guilt blurs our senses.
And so this is why you're here. To warn me. You felt this pain yourself. You too have endured this.
I don't want to lose you, Jonathan. I've lost so many friends. Loved ones I cherished. Pray for Mary's forgiveness, if you must.
You may be right.
Of course. I've stared upon this world for centuries, and time has taught me to deal with guilt, if not erase it.
What should I do then?
St. Mary's Church is not far from here. Go there and make your peace. Find the solace you need.
My lady wants me to confess.
No, Jonathan. It's you who wants to confess, I think.
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy crown.
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn, you reek of guilt and pointless compassion. Shed your skin, forget your old weaker self.
What do you want from me?
Ascalon does not approve of lone wolves who bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name is Ascalon?
Ascalon's will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by them, or I shall return as your judge and jury.
These immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel.
Watch yourself, huh? He's dead!
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
You seem to me a good soul.
There are no secrets from God, my son.
I've told you once.
Your eyes burn with rage, yet I see the pain that lies beyond.
Very well, priest.
Open your heart.
She was my son.
You seem so troubled.
It was an accident.
I see.
She died because of me.
I have a final question for you, my son.
Ask your question.
What would you like?
I'm so sorry, Mary.
You have been hurt, my son.
Whatever happened on this dock is between my sister and I. It does not concern God at all. I cannot enter.
There's something going on in this district. I don't know what.
He's mine! I'll take it!
I shall fear no evil.
There's one of them! Watch yourselves! Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you. Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
This is your doing. You made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
Riddles and rhymes. You took my life. Now you insult my mind.
Be stilled, my child. I bring understanding.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind?
God protect us.
Maybe Edgar.
You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCullum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. and I just had the carpet cleaned. By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Very well.
I know this place means something to you.
You need to know you can...
I do.
Please then.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire...
Rest assured...
McCullum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop it...
Very well. Since I... Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks. What on earth happened here?
Oh, Jonathan.
Yes, and I'm afraid...
Jonathan!
Forgive me if
I'm always...
Have you embraced this woman?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I didn't...
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and...
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly...
Temptation surrounds...
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned...
What do you know of
What more can you tell me?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain, and exert
I have experienced a...
Now that's quite a question.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbol...
Thank you, my lady.
Easy does it, boys. We can deal with this vermin.